Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Nigeria's Minister of Sports, John Eno, has dispatched his principal's message to the Super Eagles camp that their encounter with their neighboring country, Cameroon, in the round of 16, starting this Saturday, is a war that must be won under any circumstances. Here is a preview of Saturday's encounter.
The Nigerian president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has ordered the Super Eagles of Nigeria to go for the scalp of the indomitable Lions of Cameroon when the two countries meet at the round of 16 matches of the African Cup of Nations taking place in Abidjan on Saturday, 27th January 2024 at 9 p.m. The Minister of Sports, Aaron, had dispatched a message to the Super Eagles camp that their encounter with their neighboring country is a war that must be won under any circumstance. The two countries are familiar foes in the round leather game. Current performance shows Nigeria is better as she chalked 7 points from 3 games, scoring 3 goals and conceding only a goal, placing second in her group, whereas Cameroon only earned 4 points, coming as a lucky loser, scoring 5 goals and conceding 6 goals. The implication is that Nigeria is better in defense, allowing 1 goal when Cameroon allowed 6 goals into their net. But Cameroon is better goal scorer on 5-3 goals. If the bunch of high-scoring Nigerian attackers is in form, the match will end in regular time without extra time. In their last Afcon matches in Ivory Coast, Cameroon beat Gambia 3-2, lost to Senegal 1-3, and drew 1-1 with Guinea. Nigeria beat Guinea by a lone goal, defeated hosts Ivory Coast also by a lone goal, and played 1-1 with Equatorial Guinea. Nigeria is a country that can wobble and fumble yet lift the trophy. There were 2 friendly matches in 2021. Cameroon won in Nigeria by a lone goal on 4th June 2021, and on 8th June 2021 in Yaoundé, it was goalless. With former Cameroonian captain and president Cameroonian Football Association, Samuel Eto'o taking the match personal to motivate his players, and Nigerian veteran Segun Odegbami leading the pack of Nigeria's former players. The 90 minutes or 120 minutes of play, if it goes into extra time, will be interesting to watch. I do not see the match going into a penalty shootout, but even if it does, Nigeria has greater potentials to win. I see African Player of the Year, Osimhen, scoring, and senior man Kelechi causing the Cameroonians to commit penalty. But ageless Cameroonian captain Vincent Abubakar, who just got a new wife and is as dangerous as a rattlesnake, may task Ola Aina on Nigeria's right defense. Winner between Nigeria and Cameroon will meet winner between Angola and the Brave Warriors of Namibia in the quarterfinals. Nigeria has been in encouragement euphoria with a calculation that players might go home with 42 million naira or $35 billion match bonuses if they win their 7 matches at Afcon. The breakdown shows that each player is to collect $5,000 for winning a match, and multiply by 7 means good haul of $35,000. But the prize money may increase at the knockout stages. Well, the Nigerian government cleared all the outstanding bonuses owed by previous governments shortly before the Eagles flew to Abidjan in princely attire.
An Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court this Friday sentenced founder of Rain Christian Ministry, Faye Daniels, to life imprisonment for raping a church member. The trial judge, Raman Oshodi, found the Lagos-based cleric guilty of rape and sexual assault of a female worshipper. It was reported that the bishop, who took to the witness box in his own defense, testified that he believed 3 out of the 4 women who accused him of sexually assaulting them conspired to turn against him. While fielding questions under cross-examination, the prosecution's lead counsel, Babajide Boye, sought to establish that the defendant, Bishop Daniels, had a personal relationship with the 4 women. Boye alleged that the defendant had counseled one of the women, giving the amount of 100,000 naira to another for hospital treatment, paid school fees for a third, and related with a fourth as a leader in the campus fellowship affiliated with his ministry at Akungba Akobo in Ondo State. But the bishop denied giving money to one of the women for treatment. Now, the military high command says it will request to have a meeting with the chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, Reverend Timothy Dalok, over his recent comments against the military. Killings of innocent people, as well as the burning of houses, mosques, and churches continued unabated in Mangu despite the declaration of curfew by Governor Caleb Mutfwang. In a video that has since gone viral, Dalok was seen where he accused the Nigerian military of supervising the killings of Christians and the destruction of property in the state. Fielding questions from journalists at the Defense Headquarters, Abuja, on Thursday, the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the DHQ was in the process of reaching out to the cleric to substantiate his allegations. The level of insecurity in Nigeria has taken a worrisome dimension, with some of the citizens wondering whether government is concerned with the situation. The recent prescription of death by hanging without any option for kidnappers and 20 years imprisonment for attempts to kidnap or abduct by the governor of Cross River State, Basi Otu, amongst other punishments, have been seen by many as a welcome development if it will be enforced to the latter. Clearview News' Imefun Okon, who sought the opinions of some Nigerians on the burning issue, tells us more.
Insecurity has become Nigeria's biggest nightmare for some years now. What started like a child's play has grown like a wildfire going out of control by the government. Indeed, more and more citizens are now worried over the safety of their lives and properties than ever before. The governor of Cross River State, Basi Otu, who lamented over high rates of crimes in the country, said cultism, armed robbery, and kidnapping are the major crimes that are perpetrated most frequently in Cross River State, and he is ready to enforce the state extant law on kidnapping, which prescribes death by hanging. How did we get here, and what is the way out of this mess? Most Nigerians who spoke to Clearview News crew said death by hanging by the governor is a welcome development if properly enforced.
To me, it's a very good idea if they can implement it, if they do not compromise. Because the rate things are going now, we are not safe. And if we are not take care, if our leaders don't take care and make a policy that will stop this nonsense, believe me, we'll be in trouble. Let the National Assembly support it. Let the federal government support it. And that's the best thing. If you caught, they should kill you immediately. Go to Saudi, go to other China. China doesn't tolerate nonsense. Saudi doesn't tolerate nonsense. If you rape alone, they will kill you within 24 hours. So Nigeria should take a serious step on this issue. That's my take.
Yes, the thing is that there's no best way in doing the wrong thing. Anybody that going to doing the wrong thing, the law should take its course. In view of that, there's nothing wrong in that, because from the beginning, that's a wrong thing. And it's better they should be treated that way, so that it will become a deterrent to other persons who have the intention to kidnap people. It's an alien to us. It's not good. So it's a welcome development. In fact, they should add more penalty to that. Well, even if government is not doing enough, that is not a yardstick for anybody to go and kidnap another person. If you say the government is not doing what you are doing, it's not only you that the government is not doing well for. We are all Nigerian. As we are facing, others are also facing it. If I can endure, you can equally endure. Not saying because it is bad, then let me go and kidnap my neighbor so that I eat. It's wrong. There are other approaches you can use to talk to government. You can hold government to ransom, not holding your neighbor to ransom.
There is no smoke without fire. A Nigerian who objected to the decision of the governor therefore appealed to Nigerian leaders to deal with the root cause of crimes in the country before enforcing the death penalty option.
If you start killing, okay, if you sell punitive measures, when you have not addressed why people even ventured into kidnapping in the first instance. Before now, the issue of kidnapping wasn't really as much as it used to be presently. So governments have a lot of duty to do by, one, improving security structures all around the countries, either by local policing or any other which means. Secondly, addressing the economic realities. Create jobs, create the environment, let businesses thrive, let people even empower themselves. I get it, the taxation have to be reduced. I mean, personally, I wouldn't tell you that I'm finding it easy as a civil servant.
That's the fact about the areas you can protest, you can go to government and say we don't agree, we don't accept this, do this. Nigerians who are not happy can come to the road and meet government. Go to their local government, go to the secretary, go to the governors and meet them. The government is not in only Abuja. It's in the local government, it's in the state, it's in the federal. Meet them there and say we no agree. Than to go and kidnap people. It's not proper. Why don't you go and kidnap government? You are kidnapping human being that doesn't have anything.
According to the Global Terrorism Index, Nigeria is ranked the third most terrorized country in the world. Amidst this poor ranking, the question on the lips of Nigerians is whether the government is just being insensitive to the plight of the citizens or simply overwhelmed and have run out of ideology on how to prosecute the asymmetric warfare that have taken a great toll on lives and properties. Imefon Okon, reporting for Clever News.
The Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness, coalition of civil society organizations, have called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, to intervene and prevail on Chairman of INEC, Professor Yakubu Mahmood, to recognize Edozie Njoku as the National Chairman of APGA. The Director General of Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness, Dr. Nwambu Gabriel, who made the appeal at a press briefing in Abuja, said the INEC boss's continuous disobedience of the court order may lead to an invitation to self-help.
Today, perhaps, the most worrisome issue in Nigeria is the glaring evidence arising from the judgment of the FCT High Court, Buhari Division, which found Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of INEC, guilty of contempt of court. Evidently, however, our concern as civil society organizations is, why didn't Professor Mahmood explore the 14 days window offered to him by the court to purge himself of the contempt of court? We call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the highest beneficiary of court judgment in Nigeria as it stands today, that he is duty-bound to stop this impunity. Just imagine what would have become of Nigeria if the court judgment of the Supreme Court affirming him as the President and Commander-in-Chief was flouted and was not obeyed. We also call on Chief Lateef Fagbemi SAN, the Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Minister of Justice, as the Chief Law Officer to intervene and prevail on Professor Yakubu Mahmood to recognize Chief Edozie Njoku as the National Chairman of APGA. We call on Malam Nuhu Ribado, the National Security Advisor to Mr. President, to intervene on this matter because disobedience to court orders is an invitation to self-help. Finally, we call on Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to obey the judgment of the FCT High Court Buhari Division, which clearly stated that Chief Edozie Njoku is the national chairman of APGA.
The group also called on the Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman, Yakubu Mahmood, to obey the judgment of the FCT High Court Buhari, which clearly stated that Edozie Njoku is the national chairman of APGA. The UN's top court is to decide whether to issue emergency measures ordering Israel to halt its operations in Gaza The session of the International Court of Justice on Friday is part of a case brought by South Africa alleging that Israel is committing genocide. Both countries testified when the case opened 2 weeks ago. Israel has vehemently rejected the allegation. A ruling against Israel is not enforceable by the court, but would be politically significant. More than 25,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed and tens of thousands injured, according to the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza. Since Israel began its offensive, triggered by an unprecedented attack on Israel by the group, Hamas attacked on 7th October, killed about 1,300 Israelis, mainly civilians. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online.